I was having a discussion at this front table with what do you do with maybe a more advanced student who this information is information that they already know, while other students are still working on this. You definitely want to be prepared for the what are you going to do if they already know what you're teaching thing. And this leads to sort of a gamification of these three things that we realize, like the shape of a prime, composite, or square number. This is a number puzzle called Shikaku. Don't turn to it yet, but in your binder is a page with this game, and it explains the rules, which is one way to do it if you don't have the time to have a discussion and you want to just hand it to that particular student who needs the next challenge. It's got the rules on there for the student. This is another way to do it. Here's a blank game, here's a finished game. How would you describe the rules of this game? How do you think this game is played?
Squares there are, right?
So the number is telling you how many rectangles or squares there are.
For that rectangle, or how many tiles for that rectangle.
Could you sort of riff off of that, how many squares need to be in a certain rectangle? So the 3 up in the top left corner says that there need to be 3 like unit squares or tiles in a rectangle that you create with that 3 in it. Can't use a number more than once. So once you make a rectangle. Can't use a tile more than once. So once you have a rectangle drawn around that 3 tile, that 3 is done.
Right. You probably, it can't be in the same.
Can't be in a regular shape.
Can't be in a regular shape. No weird Tetris shapes or anything. We're doing rectangles only.
There could be more than one solution.
There could be more than one solution.
Because you can do 6 by 2 at the bottom and 3 by 1 on the top.
So it's not necessarily a unique solution. You guys see Cheryl saying basically you can grab this, rotate it, nothing changes. It's still a correctly solved.
Can you link numbers, or they have to be separate? So you can't do 4 and 2 and make 6.
Right.
They have to, 4 has to be 4 and 2 has to be.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting question. I hadn't thought about that. Like, can you link numbers?
Like 9, 3, and
Like,
6, 9.
I guess the reason you couldn't link numbers is then if I just boxed the whole board, that's a solution.
Oh, yes, there you go.
That'd probably be a good reason not to.
There you go.
Also, a better teacher move would be to ask students why they think you shouldn't be allowed to link numbers.
Yeah.
I literally have never thought of that question, and my first reaction is to think of an answer, and I did. But better teacher move, ask the question back to the class.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering, but wouldn't necessarily make a rectangle. I mean, all of them, but like say like 3 or 6 make a 9, and then 4 and 2, but you couldn't do 3, 6, and 2.
Right. Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. So you kind of can't really link all of them.
I mean, you could when you do all of them, yes. One big rectangle.
I think that you should explore this linking thing more with like finished games. But in general, we got like the number. Each number tells you how many unit squares should be in the rectangle you create. That number should only be in one rectangle that you created. No weird shapes. Rectangles only. Yeah.
So this may have been brought up, but when I first saw this, I was thinking of Sudoku.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, so if I have, like, for the 3 rectangle, the first one on the left, if I do that one, that means the 2 or the 1, the 2, I'm thinking of actually placing numbers in those rectangles. Is that what, so I'm like, the 2 can't go on the bottom, so the 2 has to go in the middle, that means the 1 has to go on the bottom. Does that have any relation? Because I'm like, then that would be an extra.
Not in my experience, but yeah,
it's like that would be really complicated.
You should explore that variation. So now you can turn. I think it's the first page on day 1 in your binder. If you've never had a chance, like maybe play around with it. And if you're curious now, this would be. I would also.
Give you some time.
Yeah. Take some time to play around. You could maybe Google Shikaku. I think the place where I got these screenshots is called shikakuroom.com.
Where does this game come from?
Shikaku is the Japanese word for square, so I guess it would be Japan.
I think so. Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Yes.